Hi everyone at Permies.com. I would like to publicly reply to a portion of a private message, purple message, that was given to me over Permies.com. I have been told that this person was confused by Sketchup, and I just wanted to give a small little bit of a tutorial on how to use Sketchup or start out using Sketchup. So what I've done is I've just opened Sketchup 8 on my computer, and as you can see, there is not but the first layer and then one of the software engineers that's produced here in your default start. So I'm going to select, I think her name is Susan, I'm going to select her and delete her, and I'm on layer 0. Also know that materials is a good thing to know about and have out later on, but we're going to minimize that. And shadows settings, that's what I just learned about my last post. I didn't make a video about it, but basically what I advise is that you save as a unique name. So I'm going to call this lamp. Maybe like lamp 01, and save it in an appropriate spot and everything, of course. And then you can go to your you can watch my previous video about quick keys, or you go into your preferences and you set up your quick keys to where I have both L and P as my line drawing and A and V as my selector. I do a Control G to group things. I do a D for a tape measure because I look at that as dimension. Anyway, go and look at a previous video of mine where I call out the shortcuts. This was what I did when I first learned SketchUp, and I was at Wheaton Labs at the time. Okay, so if we draw a line, we have the guiders that's going to control the orthographic direction, and we have the snaps. And I just drew 4 lines, and because they were all on the same plane, then SketchUp drew or allowed the plane to span, the gray area to span between the 4 lines. Now what I recommend, like say I'm drawing a box right now, what I recommend is right after you have 2 lines or just a few more than 2, you select the whole thing and you press Control G. And what I've done now is I've created a group, and I have to double click to edit this group. If I didn't double click, it won't allow me to use the push-pull tool that I have selected right now. If you do this, if you go and you group everything right after you start creating it, things will be so much more easy, because now that this is a group, my line tool does not see what is it? My line tool does not see what is inside that group as active. It only sees the new lines as active. So notice I do not have a little intersection boulder portion of a line right there and right here. Instead, I have it only right there. See how that broke up, but yet this did not break up? And so I can select these items, put them on their own layer, and now or I'm sorry, not on their own layer, but on their own group, and then now I can edit within that. And I can get rid of those extra portions of line, and I can select these things as an entire entity, as a whole. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to recognize is that when you start anything, go ahead and make a new layer. So say I'm wanting to make this lamp. So I'm going to make a wood base for the lamp. I'm going to go into that layer by clicking the dot to the left of the layer name. The layer is visible. I can toggle off the visibility of the layer that I was just drawing on, which was 0, which, by the way, like AutoCAD, you cannot delete the layer 0, the one that you start out with. So I typically just ignore it, or possibly I put images on that layer. I'll import images into Sketchup, and I'll lay it down as a mat to scale to build up from. And I don't try to get everything exactly precise, because 1, this is called SketchUp, and 2, in the real world, you don't have everything exactly precise, and it also depends on what you're trying to communicate and at what level you need to communicate things. So I'm trying to I'm not going to give you any more information in this video, so you're done watching this if you get this point. Create a layer. Make sure that you always know what layer you're creating upon. So whenever you go and click on your pen tool or use your pen setting, recognize what layer you're on. Draw your lines. I'm actually going to make a line that I care about the length of. So it's going to be, I think these things are 3.75 wide. So I entered in that value manually, and it pops up over here, and I have the settings to be at inches. Whoa. I think I have the setting to be at inches. 3.75. And now that I have 2 of them, I can say, alright, make this a group. So I Control G it. And then I double click into the group. And then it has this little guiding, what is that? This little dotted line that that sort of lets you know that the group is within this portion of the drawing. It does not extend past that. And then I continue to draw what it is that I want on the wood base layer. Otherwise, I would be creating problems for future. If say you're on one layer, you start drawing lines, you create a group, you go in and start editing that group, which I'm doing right now. I'm inside the group, editing the group, and then I change my layer to start drawing on a different layer. Well, later on, whenever I want to toggle on and off the visibility of that layer, a portion of this group disappears and a portion of it, stays. So make sure that you're managing your layers whenever you're doing things, and you get the group thing. Don't worry about components right now. Think about groups. Also, you can make a group within a group. Okay? Wonderful. Save often. Have fun. Use this as a tool, not a crutch. That's something that architecture school did to a lot of young architects with all of this enhanced technology, is they stunted our imagination and a lot of young apprentices are going out, and they're just absolutely stunted, and I feel sorry for them, and I don't really have the answer for it just yet. All right, take care, and I hope to see some wonderful things through the people at Permies. Post your files. You're completely able to post a SketchUp file just the same as you can images, those shots inside. And then also, I think I found out a really cool thing. If you want to, if you are creating quick keys, which I highly advise because it makes it to where you don't have to go and look for an imagery up here. Instead, you're just quick on your keys, and you say you want this tool, you say you want that tool, and it becomes second nature. Well, whenever it was that I was exporting a lot of images recently, I made it to where my export two-dimensional image, just the view that I was looking at the time, I made it to where my quick key was U, and it goes straight to a save as screen. I type in, or I just save it really quickly, and I don't have to go through this whole file, export, two-dimensional SketchUp image, and then save as, that sort of thing. Whenever you cut out these little things that your brain has to go through in order to get to the final product that you're looking for, it makes using computers so much less stressful. Okay, I hope you put up with my voice. I hope you got something out of this. Layers first, quick keys, groups. Talk to you later. Bye.